Cloud computing is certainly having a big impact around the world, and operators are certain to invest big in the cloud over the next few years. As a solutions provider, Huawei is largely investing in cloud recruitment and research. Today, two of the best and brightest analysts in the industry will join us to give us their views on cloud development and strategy.
How well cloud computing technologies will benefit the carriers on their business efficiency?
Cloud computing is a great opportunity for the carriers to really reinvigorate where they're trying to go with either lowering their operating costs but also increasing revenues to some of their customers. So it creates an opportunity to have them use their own infrastructure, their own assets, but bring new solutions to marketplace that really enhance where they're trying to go. So for example, cloud computing is all about infrastructure as a service, but also software as a service. And it's a market that a lot of the telcos are really just trying to enter today. They've done a great job at a lot of the data center storage and data center collaboration, but really the future of cloud has to be some of the new solutions that are coming to market.
The telecom companies have kind of a bit of a problem in that their revenues aren't increasing very rapidly, particularly on the fixed side. We forecast at Ovum about 1%, less than 1% growth globally over the next 5 to 7 years. So that's a big problem for them. So the key issue for them is how to improve their revenue. So that, to do that, they have to go into new areas, and cloud is one area that they're really looking to expand into.
You mentioned about infrastructure. How do you think what is the main driver for the carriers who decided to building new data center or consolidate the old data center?
Well, the thing is the old technology isn't really going to deliver what they need today. So a lot of them are really replacing some of their older cloud infrastructures with some of the newer technologies. Because when you take a look at where companies are trying to go with distributed clouds, with federated clouds, it's a new level of distribution and a new level of ways of interacting in the cloud. So when you're talking about federation, when you're talking about video services, when you're talking about things like big data, big analytics, it needs some new solutions today, and you have to do it in a very cost-effective manner. So this is why they're potentially looking to totally replace and reinvigorate where they're trying to go with their cloud solutions in the future.
Well, they're really going to do both things at the same time, both build new data centers as well as consolidate the old data centers. I think one of the critical elements is that they're changing the kinds of services that they're offering. And to do that, they have to be prepared to invest in a different kind of infrastructure. And I think a couple of things are very, very critical for the new infrastructure. It has to be very flexible. It has to be very efficient. And I think maybe for the telecom operators, the most important thing is it all has to be interconnected together. So it can't just be isolated data centers. They have to expand and invest in connecting the data centers together.
Telecom often carriers about their business. What do you think, how they can generate more revenues from the public cloud services?
Right. See, that's where everyone's attention is going to be, because where it comes to new revenues, they can really leverage their core expertise. And so what the telcos are very good at is infrastructure. They're very good at mobility. They're very good at communication services. But they're also very good at security and scalability. And all of these are aligned with cloud solutions. And so what they're trying to do is leverage that opportunity to enter new enterprise markets to give them new revenue. So they're no longer just the pipe. What they want to do is be what everyone's calling a smart pipe and deliver new solutions to marketplace and new verticals by leveraging things like e-health, by leveraging machine to machine, by leveraging some of the expertise they know and delivering it to enterprises out there that they can generate some more revenue.
One of the battles that the telcos have had is just to be known for doing those kinds of services, to be providing those kinds of services. So they've got lots and lots of various enterprise services that they have provided to their enterprise customers, from hosting, lots of communication services, of course. That's really what they're most known for. But the idea is they have to bring all these things together into more of a integrated services related to both communications and IT. And it's the IT piece that's been the hard piece for them. They're not known as IT players. They're known as communications players. So that's the first thing that they really have to work on.
There are many vendors in the industry. What do you suggestion about the telecoms on their selection of the cloud computing vendors?
There are many vendors out there, but not a lot of vendors that really understand, one, the telecommunications market, two, the ability to understand the role of mobility, and then three, the real ability to scale. So when you're talking about the ability to deliver resources very quickly, very efficiently, but also provide guidance on how they can deliver new cloud solutions and enter new markets is really where they're trying to go.
Well, I think there's a few things that if I were a telco looking for a vendor that I would look at. The one is experience. That's very, very important in both communications and IT. Again, you've got vendors who may be very, very strong on the IT side, but aren't necessarily strong on the communications side. So finding a vendor that can provide both of those two things at the same time is critical. And the reason that's critical is because we think that that's where the telcos will be finding their differentiation, is that they have the network, they have the data center, they're in the position with the help of vendors to put those two things together. So being able to provide, to find a vendor that can provide both those two types of expertise is very, very critical. And I think the second thing is not only those two things, but also products and services together. So you want a vendor who can really act as a partner with you if you're a telco, not just provide you some boxes, but figure out how to put them together, what your new business model could be, how you could take advantage of the new services.